So I have one question about our sexuality.
Yes.
About what is happening in that time when we have the intercourse. What happened, like energetical, mechanical?
Well, your chakras are aligning. The idea of the kundalini is activated. You're connecting more energetically to more of yourself and more of creation in a variety of ways. You're activating different markers in your genetic structure in certain ways. A lot of things are happening. You're giving off energy bursts with your heartbeat that travel out at what you call the speed of light around the world and immerse people in that vibration of connection and harmony and integration. There's a lot of things happening during that particular experience.
Ah, that's interesting. Thank you. But as I am a tantric therapist,
yes,
I increase also in the sessions the people's energetic level or something is happening, as I understand, in a higher level also. But
yes,
what is happening in a higher level?
Well, it's not so much that there is more happening in a higher level, it's that you have more ability to connect to the higher level that already exists, that is a part of you. Okay, so there's more harmonization and synchronization with the higher frequencies.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
I wanted to ask if you could comment on the relationship between sex and the human soul, of wanting to understand what belief system you would advise for channeling this very powerful, amazing energy.
Sex
in a sexual way
is an alignment of all the different levels, thus then grounding the higher energy into physical energy in an aligned way and opening up channels within the body that allows for communication back to the higher level.
Beautiful.
It is the grounding of a circuit, the completion of a circuit, and thus then once the path has been defined, it is thus then the allowance of the lightning strike to align all the centers and allow for clear communication back to the higher levels. That's its fundamental function. The idea sociologically is simply this. What any individuals prefer, what they choose to believe is preferable for themselves, simply needs to be communicated to others clearly and concisely so that all individuals involved in whatever the relationship form is all know what the belief systems of the other individuals are and are all given the opportunity to decide whether or not for them personally what is being offered is true for them or preferable for them. Other than that, no judgment need apply. As long as there is consensus and consent among the idea of those that are capable of giving consent, then in that sense it is all for a positive reason. The idea of any so-called damage that has been done would require a deep understanding of the conditions and the belief systems that created the experience to begin with, and a sharing and a helping and an assistance to allow those individuals to learn from those choices and to choose other things that may result in more positive experiences.
The concept that she's explaining is that it's, as humans, we should only use sex to procreate.
Why?
Because any other use of it is extraneous. I don't know. I
extraneous. Why?
I guess you'd have to ask her.
The only thing that makes it extraneous is when there is not clear communication of all parties in a relationship and clear consent to participate in like vibration. If that is not what's happening in a relationship that involves sex, then in that sense it's extraneous. But it is not extraneous unto itself.
Yes.
It can be used in many ways beneficially for the alignment and raising of vibrations and bondings and connections that are extremely spiritual in nature.
Okay.
But it depends on how it's used and with what intention. If there is subterfuge, if there is clarity, if there is hidden secrets, if there is lack of communication, if there is intent to trick, if there is intent to dominate, if there is intent to control, that is extraneous sex. If it is all by consensus, if it is a play, if it is enjoyable, if it is by agreement, if it builds on each other and helps support each other and allows each other, or how many ever in the relationship, to discover more and more of who they are and supports that goal, it is being used in an appropriate manner positively in that way.
Okay, great.
At least that's our view.
I have a question.
Yes.
I choose to smoke every day.
Oh, all right. What are you smoking?
Cigarettes.
All right. And why do you choose this? No judgment, just why do you choose it? What do you believe it does for you as a permission slip? You understand it is a permission slip, right?
Yes, of course.
All right, so what do you believe it does for you?
When I do not choose it,
Yes?
I observe that I am extremely horny. There's an overflow of sexual energy.
All right.
And my question is, how can I use this overflow of sexual energy in a positive way to be of service?
Can you transform the energy where it is and when it is appropriate into other forms of creative expression?
Sure.
Well, then, does that siphon off some of the energy being expressed in a sexual way or not?
Sometimes it does.
And sometimes it does not? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know.
You don't know.
Yes.
Why wouldn't you know that? It's your body. Yes? No? Maybe?
Maybe yes. Excuse me.
All right.
Is there any specific information you could give me to...
When you have what appears to be an excess of sexual energy,
Yes.
go get laid.
I mean, besides all that.
Well, why besides that? Why not that?
Because my girlfriend is not around all the time.
All right. Then those are the times that you can siphon it into different creative expressions, yes?
Yes.
Or, of course, you can service yourself.
Yes. Can I ask another question?
We're not done with this one yet. We have a question for you.
Yes.
Do you paint? Do you draw? Do you write? Something like that?
I write and I design graphics.
Is there something you've been wanting to write that you have been hesitating to write?
Yes.
What's that?
That's a book about empowerment.
What's the hesitation to start writing it?
I don't know.
Oh, yes, you do. You're not going to get away with that. What are you afraid of? What are you afraid will happen if you go forward and write the book you say that you're really excited to write? What's the hesitation? What's the fear? What will happen? Come on.
Maybe
What?
that I can sustain financially.
So you have a limited definition of abundance because
Yes.
you don't allow your definition to be broad enough to support you in whatever way it needs to support you, which doesn't necessarily mean it will always be money.
Yes.
But remember that our definition of abundance is the ability to do what you need to do when you need to do it. Do you believe that you can attract whatever form of abundance you need to attract to allow you to support yourself in whatever way you need to continue to do what you need to do?
Yes.
Then why not allow that to be there so that you can do the thing that excites you? And by the way, doing the thing you say would excite you, writing this book, Certainly that's something you can do in some of the time that you have, yes?
Yes.
If you are, and here's the key, blocking yourself and creatively frustrating yourself, you follow me?
Yes.
You're going to build up excess creative energy that's going to want to express itself in other ways because you're not expressing the flow in the direction you would actually prefer to.
That helps. Thank you.
You understand?
Yes.
So get writing. Use that hand for something else.
Thank you very much, Bashar.
Thank you. I feel like I need a cigarette now.
Thank you. How might experiences of sexuality continue to shift and evolve as our consciousness evolves?
Well, in many different ways, perhaps, all the way up to what we experience now and beyond, where our activity sexually is no longer exactly physical, but more energetic in the creation of energy bubbles that interlink, overlap, and create a third life within the overlap. So it's no longer the physical act that it used to be for us, that it still is for you. But again, as you open yourself up in a fourth density, higher vibrational way, you'll be clearer about the reasons for the idea of expressing sexuality, and they will all be more in your expression aligned with the positive vibration and less aligned with the negative vibration. You will know perfectly the reasons why you may experience the idea of sexuality, and they will all enhance your ability to evolve forward in the fourth density reality that you're creating.
And that is, I've always had more of a separation than I would like between love and sex. I've never been able to put those two together in a way that makes sense to me.
In what way?
In that I can be sexual
Yes.
without a love connection, and I can be loving without a sexual connection.
Yes, well, what's so mysterious about that?
I would prefer to put the two together.
Then put them together. What's stopping you?
That's the question.
It doesn't have to be that way in every case, in every relationship. There will be some expression of love with sex. There will be some expression of sexual energy with love, but they can be expressed to varying degrees in a variety of ways depending upon what the purpose of the relationship happens to be. You have to allow the relationship to be what it is and not place expectations on what you think it should be. Then those relationships that are representative of the ability to experience both will simply naturally evolve, naturally happen, naturally come through synchronicity if it's relevant for you to experience that in your life.
Is that in our culture we have this romanticism thing
Yes.
that goes on where you're supposed to, quote, put the
Yes.
two together.
Yes.
And I'm wondering...
But you've just said it yourself. It's a cultural thing that you've been taught that you're supposed to do.
Right.
That should tell you right there that
That's a
in
big red
sense,
flag.
It's artificial.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily designed in a way that allows you to experience what the relationships are really for. It allows you to impose all sorts of expectations and assumptions on it that may have nothing to do with what the relationship is in your life for. But letting it be natural, those that then need to have it represented that way will be represented that way. It will come naturally. It will be a natural expression. You won't have to force it.
Some spiritual teachers, especially from the yogic tradition, have been teaching that desire is the root of all suffering. And they also teach celibacy as an important tool to achieve self-realization or enlightenment.
Yes.
Is there any truth to restricting sexual energy to be beneficial in that way? And also, what about this idea of the root of all suffering is desire?
The root of all suffering is resistance to the natural self. What they're kind of saying in their own language is that many times, because of negative and fear-based belief systems, people can become caught up in the desire for things in an overstated way. They can go too far. They can overcompensate. They might even go into the idea of addiction. But these things have more to do with belief in disempowerment than they do with the idea of actual sexual energy. Anything can be used in a positive or a negative way. So what they're simply saying is, don't do it negatively. Don't relate to these energies in a negative way. Now, for themselves, in terms of promoting these particular methodologies, this may have more to do simply with their belief system, that they may fear that if they don't impose those kinds of restrictions on themselves in the way that they choose to, in using that permission slip in that way, that they might have a fear-based belief that they would overcompensate. And so they're simply putting it out there that there may be other people like them who are holding on to fear-based beliefs that would cause them to go too far in one direction, so to speak, get out of balance in a way with those particular relationships of energy to themselves. So they're simply saying, if you have that particular belief system like we do, this can be of some assistance to you to do these things in this way. But still, with honest self-investigation, you can decide whether that technique is true for you, or whether you have a different way of handling your relationship to your own energy in a way that allows you to know that you will simply not go too far, that you will choose to remain in balance, and that you can use those particular ideas in a more balanced way.
Do you have thoughts on polyamory?
Whatever it is that someone is attracted to do that is in agreement by consensus with everyone else, as long as there is clear communication about what is going on with everyone so that they are making a conscious choice in those arrangements, then that's fine.
Is there a way to kind of transcend jealousy in those settings, or is that always a part of our human experience?
No, it is not. Jealousy means you think you're missing something. That you're not getting what you need. It is a poor me situation. I'm deprived definition.
Right.
So you're not trusting the way your life unfolds, and you're not actually living your passion.
Yeah. I finally met somebody who feels like a good match, but since that happened, it feels like I've lost a lot of my desire. It's almost like I was more into the chase than actually having. I don't know if there's any way that I can really drop in.
Then do an investigation about what it is you actually got out of that and the reasons for why you experienced it in the way that you did. You need some honest self-investigation about why you choose to do the things you do. So take some time to do that. Don't be in a hurry to do anything else other than figure out why you do what you do. That's what will help you the most.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
When people exchange sexual energy or even kiss, some people say that there's like a DNA transfer and that people take on energy from others. To what extent is that true, and how long does that energy stick around?
The idea is you are simply matching frequencies with the other being, and it sticks around as long as you desire to match frequencies with them. And then when you change your frequency...
Some people are very dogmatic about that.
I understand.
Do you have any perspective on the importance of gay, lesbian, and bisexual people and other queer people in that planetary evolution or ascension?
It is important for the evolution on your planet because it shows people on your planet that there are many different ways to express the soul and love.
And on individual levels, is there something more significant that we can cultivate?
Well, it can be. Yes, it can be, but we're going to leave that up to every individual who experiences it.
That was all of my questions, too. You answered every single one.
Thank you very much.
You're amazingly synchronistic, and I love you so much.
We love you unconditionally. Please move forward in your life in the best possible way for you, paying attention to why you do what you do. That's all you need to do.
Okay. I hope to meet you soon. I hope that all of our extraterrestrial friends can land and we can have a big party.
Someday that will be possible.
I look forward to it. Thank you, Bashar.
You are welcome.
Bashar.
Yes.
Can you tell me about masturbation?
What about it?
Good question.
Perhaps you will have to refer to masturbates to ask that question.
Is it a positive thing or a negative thing?
Do you understand the idea that anything and everything can serve both functions? Everything is fundamentally neutral. So the idea is that any act can serve either a positive or a negative effect. It depends on how it's used. It depends upon the intention behind it. It depends upon the alignment of energy in which the act is done, or the lack of alignment in which the act is done. Every circumstance can serve positive or negative results.
If it's based on your highest excitement at the time.
Well, then you know the answer, yes?
Yes, okay.
But the idea is to pay attention and have the discernment as to why it is actually being done. And I mean anything, not just the example you provided.
But the concept and idea of preserving the semen in your body and not releasing it give you more powers or energy or...
It depends on how you use it.
It depends on how I use it.
Yes.
But if I release it and I can still sustain that capacity of energy...
Have you ever gone to the gym?
Yes.
Have you ever run?
Yes.
Have you ever sweated?
Yes.
Well, you released a lot of water from your body. Didn't you need it?
Yeah.
Did it reduce your power?
For temporary.
And then what did you do?
Regenerated.
Thank you. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
All right, then there you go. You sweated it out for what you believed was a positive action, yes?
Yes.
You got positive benefits out of losing all that moisture from your body, yes?
Yes.
So you have to pay attention to the intention behind the act. If it is truly your excitement, then by definition it cannot harm you. The duty that you have is to be honest enough with yourself as to whether the intention behind it actually is positive or negative. Because many of you have the capacity to fool yourselves and think that you're doing something exciting when in fact it's not representative of your excitement. And vice versa.
So how do you know for sure?
You have to have honesty and willingness to explore and be honest with yourself about the motivations behind what you choose to do.
I see.
And if you are that honest and that willing, you'll figure it out.
I see.
All right. This is going to be a little dark.
Oh, dark. All right. How exciting. Let's dive into darkness.
Okay. I wanted to talk to you about human shame.
Human shame. It's really a shame that humans have shame. Because you don't have to.
Let me explain.
All right. Explain
So-
your shame on the plane in Spain.
So it feels like to me that I took the quote-unquote spiritual knowledge so far that all of a sudden I hit a wall. And it's like, oh, you also have to conquer your personal power.
Well, not conquer, but align with.
Right. And in doing that, it's taken me down this pretty dark journey.
Such as? For example?
For example, the shame. So
Yes.
exploring shame, understanding shame.
Yes.
What's
So that you can let go of it, yes?
Yes, but what I'm having a challenging time with now is
Yes.
I see it everywhere. It's like, it
Of
feels
course.
like I feel everyone's shame.
When you explore something, you see it everywhere because you're on that frequency of exploration. But so what? You're learning about it. How can you not see something if you're going to learn about it?
So it's okay to have an experience where you feel so out of alignment and you almost don't even see the people you love the way you want to.
Yes, it's okay if you're using it for a positive learning experience. So as long as you are not allowing yourself to get stuck in it, so to speak, by worrying about the fact that you're having the experience, you'll use it in a positive way instead of a negative one.
So how would you imagine I could unstuck myself?
I just told you. You understand that you're doing it for a positive learning experience. And then you'll have an overview of it rather than feeling immersed in it. You'll become more neutral as an observer of it without necessarily having to take on the qualities that you're observing. Unless you want to do it to whatever degree you need to, just to understand what the experience is like. But you'll still understand that that's why you're doing it. It won't be something that you're unconscious of doing. It'll be something you're conscious of doing for a reason. And therefore you'll remain relatively neutral or objective in the exploration. You won't get caught up in it.
Okay.
So you have to look at it that way.
I feel that I do see it that way, but it still seems very scary to me.
then you're not looking at it that way. But again, you can understand it's all right to be scared if you understand that it's a temporary experience for learning. Let me give you an analogy.
Okay.
Do you like roller coasters?
Yes.
Are you temporarily scared when you're riding them?
Yes.
But the ride is over at one point, isn't it?
Yes.
Did you have fun being scared for a while?
Yes.
Then you're on a different roller coaster, that's all. You're on the shame coaster.
I just can't imagine what type of person I'm going to...
That is the issue. You can't imagine it, but you can. You just need to let yourself imagine how it could be used differently and what you could learn from it in a positive way. So when you say, I can't imagine it, you're stating that as if it's a fact. It's not a fact. It's an opinion. It's a belief. It's a perspective. It's not a fact that you can't imagine how it could be something that you could learn something positive from. You can.
What about...
you are not believing that you can.
I think for me, it's being able to see the person I'll be when I come out of it. I feel like I'll be...
what would allow you to do that? What kind of perspective would you have to adopt that would allow you to have the kind of perspective that would work for you when you come out of it? Use your imagination right now.
Okay, ask the question again.
Thank you.
Wait, can you ask it again so I can give you the answer?
Can you use your imagination to imagine what it would look like and what it would feel like to come out of it with the lesson learned and then move on? Can you imagine seeing yourself do that?
Yes, I would imagine I would be more like you.
There you go. Then why don't you just be more like me? And then you'll be able to do it. All you have to do is imagine the version of yourself and see that version of yourself doing it, and then do what she does. Behave as she behaves. Think as she thinks. Feel as she feels. And you will be her.
And it's okay that there might be a little bit of a process?
Process is the entire point of why you're having a physical life. The process is the point. As you've heard on your planet sometimes, the journey is the destination. It's the whole reason why you're having a physical incarnation. Because you want to experience the process of change in order to have a deeper appreciation of it. So the process is the point. Whatever's happening at the moment, there's nowhere more important to be. Be in the process. That's the whole point of why you're experiencing it. To learn from the process. To change yourself and discover something new about yourself from a new perspective. You can't have a new perspective and a new discovery if you don't have a space-time process of some sort. Now, true, on the spirit level, it's a lot less, but on the physical level, it's a very specific kind of space-time process that allows you to have the experience of discovering something new and feeling that you have changed. If things were timeless, there would be no change. Yes?
Yeah.
So in order to experience the grandeur of change, the great ecstasy of having made a breakthrough, a realization, a revelation, you have to have a process of change.
So I'd like to expand on that a little more, if that's okay.
Of course.
So one of the aspects that I've been exploring that I feel both excited and also really uncomfortable with is shame as it pertains to people who have committed what we would say as evil or bad. Or...
All right. Let me stop you there for one moment because we need to clarify something here.
Sure.
There is a natural vibration within you that is a self-correcting mechanism that urges you back into alignment with your true vibration, your true self. You can interpret that sometimes as shame. But if it goes longer than about 15 seconds, it's self-judgment. And that's where you start having the difficulty. But natural anger, natural shame, which may need different words, is really nothing more than an alignment process, a realignment urging, an encouragement to go back into alignment. Now, if somebody doesn't do it, and it continues, it can develop into the kind of self-judgment shame that you're talking about, where then it simply becomes a cycle of self-judgment that feels like an entrapment. But if you understand that the origin of that feeling is simply a realignment process to what is really true for you, and you don't negatively define it or judge it in that first 15 seconds, you won't actually go into the negative form of shame, of self-judgment for having felt out of alignment. You will simply go back into alignment instead of wallowing in the fact that you went out of alignment, which is self-judgment, which doesn't allow you to align. Does that help?
Yes, it's synchronistic because I wanted to ask you about perfectionism.
Well, you're perfect as you are right now. In the next moment, you will be a different kind of perfect. But whatever you are right now is a perfect version of what you are. So you can't be a more perfect version of what you are right now. When you change, you will be a different version. And that version will be perfect for what it is. But perfectionism, in the sense of self-judgment, again, goes back to the idea that you're not good enough as you are.
So what permission slip would you give to me or to humanity about this judgment and this realizing it's okay to come out
all
of
right,
alignment?
there are many different kinds, of course, of permission slips that you could find yourself attracted to, but I can give you a very, 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 very basic and very simple one if you wish.
I'll take it.
Get over yourself. Get over yourself. So what? That's the mantra. All right, I went out of alignment. So what? I recognize that now. Is that what I prefer? No. Do I prefer to go back into alignment? Yes. Done.
So where does all the seriousness come from?
Where does all
the seriousness come from?
It comes from having been taught to believe that you're not worthy.
All right. So smart. Thank you.
So are all of you, if you would just pay attention to yourselves.
I just wanted to add one piece.
Yes.
That whenever I'm confused or lost, or I have a question, I just ask myself, what would Bashar tell me?
And again, your higher mind will answer you. Yes?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Allow us also to share with you and with all of you a very powerful tool that we will begin to share on your world at this time that will allow you to understand something very important about some of the things that you may feel. We can use the cynicism as an example, since you have brought it up. Anytime you have a feeling that is of a vibration of the nature that you know is out of alignment with your truth, of course, as we have always said, allow it, acknowledge it, own it, because you cannot change what you do not own. But now, understand it is a very powerful tool of transformation. And first and foremost, it is a very powerful tool of diffusing and neutralizing the negative vibration in anything that comes up. So, whatever it is you may feel, be it anger, be it hate, be it doubt, be it fear, be it cynicism that you believe is out of alignment with your truth at any given moment, say out loud to yourself, or if the situation does not allow that, say strongly in your inner voice the following thing, or some variant thereof, depending upon what it is you are experiencing. I am feeling cynicism because I choose to believe I need to. I am feeling hate because I choose to believe I need to. I am feeling fear because I choose to believe I need to. I am feeling doubt because I choose to believe I need to, or I choose to believe I must, or I choose to believe it serves me, or I choose to believe fill in the blank. But the critical portion is the acknowledgement that you are feeling what you're feeling. I am feeling X. Followed by, because I choose to believe. Fill in the blank. When you begin to observe the feelings and make these statements in that moment, you will find that the vibration will somewhat flatten out, somewhat neutralize, somewhat diffuse. It will bring you back at least somewhat to center because you have actually completed a circuit. You will start to rewire your brain. Most of you experience some of the difficulties and struggles that you do on your planet, and thus the feelings that go with it of pain and doubt and fear and cynicism and hate and so on and so forth. Because, as you have pointed out, in your upbringing, many of those ideas were reinforced in such a way so that the circuit was never allowed in your brain to actually get grounded as a complete equation or a complete thought. All that was entrained within you was, I feel fear, I feel doubt, I feel cynicism, I feel hate, I feel anger, I feel less than, I feel this, and left at that. Just left at that. And then left to wonder and ponder what to do with that. Without a tool to complete the circuit. Because just, I feel hate, I feel this, is an incomplete circuit. It only takes you halfway and doesn't give you an opportunity to understand how to ground it into physical manifestability in a way that allows the energy to dissipate and then be worked with, to take you to a place where you're capable of working with it. So from this point forward, if you wish, up to you, use this tool to complete the circuit. And every time you may be going along joyfully and suddenly feel cynicism, hate, doubt, any vibrational, emotional alignment that you feel is out of alignment with your true self, stop, take a moment and acknowledge, I feel X because I choose to believe I must. As soon as you do that, you will be back in control, back in the center of your being. The energy will somewhat flatten, diffuse, and dissipate, and you will be able to then, from that point forward, deal with the issue at hand, which would be the underlying belief, without getting caught up in the short circuit of just, I feel that, I feel that, I feel that, I feel that, I feel, 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 and never knowing what to do about it. Now, also at the same time, to reinforce the positive vibration, anytime you feel a positive emotion, do the same thing. I feel overwhelming joy and love because I choose to believe I must. And that will start strengthening your ability to complete the circuit when the negative vibration comes up. You will more likely want to complete the circuit, because when you complete the circuit and flatten and neutralize the original negative vibration, it will propel you toward the positive vibration from the reinforcement, and you will begin to get into the habit of choosing the idea of doing a flow-through, a complete follow-through to the positive side from the negative, instead of stopping halfway and being short-circuited. And you will literally, by doing this exercise every time that you catch that emotional vibration out of alignment, completing it with the phrase and grounding it, diffusing it, going to the positive, reinforcing the positive in the same way, you will literally start to rewire the electrical pathways, neurological pathways of your brain that were previously short-circuited by the kind of training and upbringing you had as children, You will literally rewire your brain, and as you do it again and again and again and again and again and again and again, you will suddenly begin to realize that in time, it will actually be a struggle to get into negative vibrational reality. You will start to expand and increase the idea of what we may refer to as the gravitational potential of your positive vibration. Look at this idea in your mind's eye right now. Imagine, if you will, that at the core of your being there is a powerful, bright star, shining bright. However, it is mostly invisible to you because it is surrounded by a shell, a spherical shell of all sorts of belief systems that may be out of alignment with your true self, which is that star at your core. But as you reinforce the positive side, as you neutralize the negative side, as you rearrange the neurology of your brain, as you ground the circuit, complete the circuit in this way, bit by bit, piece by piece, these puzzle piece shell around the star will begin to crack, become transparent, become see-through, let you know the star is there. You start to see the light. The shell starts to crack and fall away, float away from around the star, and you begin to feel the pull, the tug of the star like a moth to a flame, entranced, mesmerized by the beauty and the vibrational power of the core of your being, and you begin to fall toward that star. And the closer you get, you come under the influence of its gravity more and more powerfully. And the closer you get, the gravity becomes stronger. The closer you get, the gravity becomes unbelievably powerful, overwhelmingly powerful, until such time as you are caught in the gravity well of your positive self to such an extent it will be impossible or very, 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 very to the power of 99.999999999% unlikely that you will be able to pull away from that pull, that tug of the positive vibration again. With that picture also in mind of falling toward the star of the light within you, you will also start falling toward that star. And you will feel its tug. And as you become immersed in that gravitational well and unable to pull away from it more and more, you will become more sensitized to the vibrations that are you, and also more sensitized to the vibrations that are not. So you will constantly then move away from what you are not and towards what you are, and the pull will become inexorable. And you will fall into the center of your soul and be who you are. Now, this is the idea of what the job of your physical personality mind actually is and what it isn't. Many of you have been taught to believe that your physical mind is in charge, that it's supposed to control everything and figure out how everything is supposed to happen in order for everything to work. But you heard in the recording, and you heard us say last night of your time, that this is not your job description. Your physical mind is not designed to understand how things happen. It is only designed to perceive how things happened. It is not designed to perceive how things will happen. It is only designed to perceive how things happened. The higher self, that level just above physical reality that is also part of your personal being, is the level of your being that has the ability to understand how things happen. And that's why you heard us say, and the secret say, you don't have to worry, you don't have to focus on how something will come about. There is no way for you to know. It's not within the capacity of your physical mind to know that. It's only within the capacity of your physical mind to see how it did occur, but not how it will occur. The knowledge of how it will occur comes from your higher self, not from your physical mind. As we said last night of your time, again, pay attention, very crucial. The higher self conceives. The physical brain receives. The physical personality mind perceives. The physical personality mind does not conceive of anything. The physical mind is not capable of generating an idea, not one. Not one. Any idea you have ever had has never come from your physical mind. Not one. It can only perceive the result of the idea that was received by the brain from the conception of the higher self. Beginning to understand this relationship will allow you to begin to have a better relationship and an open line of communication with the higher self, and will allow you as physical minds to allow the you that is the higher self to do its job, while the physical mind goes about doing the job it was designed to do, which is to simply focus you in physical reality so that you can perceive and experience the result of what you conceived from the higher self to be representative of your natural truth and joy. So, this knowledge and this understanding and this relationship can allow you to relax and not feel like you have to do so much. It's not your responsibility in that sense as a physical mind to generate these things and figure out how it's all going to happen. As we said last night of your time, we recognize that the physical mind, if it is taught to think it's in charge, can get caught up in the idea of attempting to repeat how something did occur, thinking that what it is perceiving is actually how the next thing needs to occur, when in fact it's not. The idea of attempting to do that will only cause a repetitive cycle, a repetitive loop, that will simply allow you to remain stuck in one particular manifestational level, and it won't advance until you allow yourself to make the leap and let go of how you think it needs to happen, and let the higher self show you how it can happen. And then let your physical mind simply perceive how it did happen. So you don't need to carry those bags. You don't need to carry that luggage. It's too heavy. You weren't designed to carry it. If you keep carrying it, you will be exhausted very quickly. You will start dragging. You will say, life is a drag. This doesn't work. I'm not having any fun. Why not? Because you're doing too many jobs. You're not doing the job you were designed to do, only you're also attempting to do the job of the higher self. The higher self is the you that is on the mountaintop, that has the big picture, that has the far view, that can look down at the physical mind in the valley and say, the road is this way. I'm telling you, turn left. I know you think you're supposed to turn right because you think you're in charge, but I'm telling you, turn left. Pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. You don't have to know how turning left is going to get you to where you want to go. I can see that it is because I'm on the mountaintop. You don't need to know. All you need to do is what? Trust me that I'm telling you the truth. Why would I do anything different? I'm you. When you understand that your higher self is truly an aspect of you, maybe you will be willing to start listening instead of thinking, because your physical mind has been taught to think it's in charge and thus doesn't trust anyone else's 2 cents. Instead of thinking that your higher self is trying to deceive you, trying to trick you. Can't listen to that guy, that gal. What does he know? What does she know about being down here in the valley? A lot. Because you are also it. And it is also you. What we are simply saying is this is the complete person. Higher self, receiver brain, physical mind, this is the complete persona. And when you compartmentalize yourself, you are not functioning literally, not functioning as a complete person. You are shunting responsibility and the load of the job to only one portion of your personality, only one portion of your persona, the physical mind, and expecting it to take up the slack, which it is not designed to do. You're putting too much weight on it, too much emphasis on it, and it's going to wear the physical you down to the point where it won't matter what the higher self says about taking this road or that road. You'll just be too exhausted to move. Just can't do it. Sorry. The idea is that when you allow yourself to let the higher self pick up that slack by doing the job it was designed to do, your load will be lightened. You will be energized. You will be enlightened. You will feel freer. You will feel like you have more energy than you ever imagined possible. You will be able to move in the direction the higher self is suggesting, because you will then not be weighed down by things that you don't have any business carrying with you. And it will make you feel free, and you can run down the road, and that means as soon as you give up the job that isn't yours, things will accelerate. If you think you need to lug all this luggage down the road, it's going to be slow going. When you drop what isn't yours, things will speed up because now you're not carrying extra weight. Things will accelerate. The paradox here is that because the physical mind has been taught to think it's in charge and has to figure out how everything is going to happen, it actually slows things down, even in the face of wanting things to speed up. It's doing exactly the opposite of what it actually really wants to have happen by taking on too much weight. So by letting that go and allowing yourself to function as the whole being, and trusting the how to the higher self and not thinking about it, not worrying about it in the physical mind as to how you're going to get where you know you want to be, then you will allow there to be balance on all levels of your being. Things will flow in that positive direction representative of your natural self, because you will be behaving as your true, interconnected, holistic, natural self. This, when people talk about the idea of letting go, when they talk about the idea of surrender, this is what they're talking about. Simply surrender to being who you actually are instead of who you've been taught to think you're supposed to be. This is what you are now realizing in this new age of transformation on your planet. That you're not alone. That the compartmentalized you that you heretofore thought was the totality of your being is in fact nothing but a small piece. And that you actually have other portions of yourself that you could be using, that you could be allowing to carry some of the load with you, but which you have refused to believe can happen because of the way your personality mind, your physical mind has been taught to think about what it's supposed to do, about what its responsibilities actually are. And thus then, once the physical mind has taken on this much weight, has taken on this much more job than it was designed to do, and it feels tired, and it feels stressed, and it feels weighed down, what's the next step after that? Victimization, resentment. It starts dissolving and devolving and breaking down because it cannot carry the load. And once it starts breaking down, thinking this is supposed to be working and it's not, it now feels betrayal from the universe. The universe isn't supporting me, it's not working for me. No, you're not working for you. You're not working for you because you're working too hard for you. Lighten up on yourself. The universe does not expect you to have to struggle. It does not expect you to have to, in any way, shape, or form, suffer Challenges, yes, but those are exciting. Activity, yes, but that's exciting. Struggle, suffer, no. There is no expectation on behalf of the universe that you should have to struggle and suffer to be yourself. All the struggling, all the suffering, all the doubt, all the fear comes from the misunderstanding of who you are, and thus resisting your natural self because you're afraid to give up that control from the physical mind to the greater self for which it was designed. And when you thus then don't do that and take it all on yourself and start slogging down the road, very heavy under the burden of things you have no business carrying, comes the victimization, the sense of fear, the sense of betrayal, the sense of being alone, the sense of being cut off, the sense of being disconnected, the resentment, the hate, self-loathing, lack of deservability. All these issues stem from not allowing your full self to carry the load. All of it. Bless you. There are, as we said, now many more different, shall we say, permission slips being created by many different people with regard to ideas such as abundance and living your passion and so on and so forth. They are all saying the same thing. Choose whichever one seems to work best for you. But when you make a choice as to what permission slip is most reflective and most representative of what you believe works best for you, then take that information and inundate and immerse yourself in it to the point where you are truly exhibiting a passion for being passionate. And thus then you will find that you will infuse yourself when you give up the weight that doesn't belong to you, and you infuse yourself with a passion for being passionate, the levels of synchronicity will explode in your life to such a degree that you will find staggering, miraculous, enlightening, uplifting, levitating. You will be flying in many different ways. Accelerating, opening up, feeling the love that has always been there unconditionally for you.